Shalom, praise the Lord, Gloria a Dios. As usual, I always come up with something new. So I want you to tune with today's video. Please listen to my all the old video if you get time. Just don't watch this video because there are so many revelations that I had and I passed down to all my videos. So if you just watch this video, you cannot understand me completely, but I try to make you all understand from the every video that I bring. So today's video we're going to talk about, first of all, that I always in the evening time I go in my swimming pool and sit down in my spa, and at least 45 minutes I I try to meditate or try to understand that he can give me some revelations, and I ask him to give me some revelation, and he always give me something. And last week somehow he just bombarded and trying to tell me to go after some of those rabbis and pastors, and especially one of these, he called himself a rabbi, this Tovia singer, and he was giving me so much revelation. He told me to tell him to shut up. I mean, that is a strong word. And I said, God, I cannot do this. And he said, do what I said. He needs to keep his mouth shut because he is not doing right thing. He is disgrace to the Jewish nations. We supposed to be the light of the world. We supposed to be the beacon of the world. We not supposed to be argue on the street. And if you are a Jew, especially, you're not supposed to be argue with those Christians. And first of all, don't think that he knows everything. He don't know nothing. By speaking in Hebrew to some people they do not understand doesn't make you a right person or you are the man of God. You were giving example to this guy. I was watching one of the video. That guy cannot even speak English, and then you gave him an example of a dog goes to the toilet and drink the water. What kind of parable or example or teaching is that? Jesus gave better teaching and parable. And you give him a dog. Anybody knows the dog will go to the toilet if you don't have water in the side beside, or he will be thirsty. He's going to go to the toilet. My dog, I have 3 dogs. One my son, my daughter, and then I have my own. But one of them likes swimming pool water, and one of them like the clean water, and one of them, yes, go to the toilet time after time. But the thing is, that is not a good example. It's like a barking dog is bark and you are just barking. And that's what God told me to shut up, because those Hebrew scriptures that you talk, you don't have no context, and you try to make people fool, it don't work. It work only for those dumb people that you come over here and talk to those Christian peoples and try to make them a Jew. Listen, if you are a Jew, you're always going to be Jew. And you are Christians, you're going to be a Christian. It's a Gentile and a Jew. There are 2 different people. So even if you come over here and try to make Christian people into Judaism, you're not doing right thing. It's just like Christian people are doing the same thing. They want to do it, the convert everybody. And I'm telling Christian people also that let me tell you, you do not have to convert anybody. You cannot convert anybody unless somebody wants to do it themselves. God will do it to them. You can go ahead and preach on the street you want, and also you can go ahead and preach to the Jews. You can go also, but the thing is, you don't need to convert anybody. Only God knows when he will convert somebody. So first of all, to Mr. Tovia singer, God told me to keep the mouth shut. Second thing, there are other rabbis also. Synagogues of Satanis was before and going to be right now also. And they will block me. But listen, if God is for you, who can be against us? No weapon forged against me, because God is with me, and I will be on my throne forever and ever. Now there are certain people have a lot of questions, especially Christians and the Jewish people, about this Isaiah 52 and 53, and also the timing. And let me go through one by one. Let's go to the Daniel chapter. On Daniel chapter, there are a few numbers, and the way they describe times and a half a time, it is 1190 days been given. Wait till 1135 days. Then another number was 2300 days and night to finish. So all those numbers have a significance to represent that what will happen and how much timing is that. So there is one number was times and a half a time, which is actually 24 and a half years. 7 plus 7 times 2, which is 14. 14 plus 7 is 21, plus 3 and a half, which is 24 and a half years. From June of 1999, the Son of Man came in the cloud and rest upon me. From that, if you count exactly 24 and a half years, I will come in the picture, which is exactly on 2024. 2024 is my day. Now, let me tell you, even if you look at the Netanyahu, okay, look what's going on in Israel. All these years, remember, you can say that Israel was independent in 1948. In 1950, they had a capital in Jerusalem. But let me tell you, they wasn't completely free. They were still under United States or a British colony. You know, they were controlling all these years, and now Netanyahu said, I had enough. He said, I had enough because time is very close. You see that Netanyahu told Biden, he avoided Biden. Biden told him to go ahead and work with the people, but he decided not to, and he is going on full speed towards whatever the God has for him. So, pretty soon you will see the kingship coming in, which is I am coming on the picture. So remember I told you, the Daniel says there will be time and a half a time. The Gabriel, the angel, and another angel told him is 2300 days, which is 6.5 years, which is from the time I will come. It's a 6.5 years. So you looking at that one. Pretty soon, which we will build the temple and everything. And the last 3.5 years, which is 1290 days, which is 3.5 years, that's what the numbers are representing. So now, let's go to the Christians have a problems with the Jesus, that Jesus is, and the Jewish people think that our Moshiach is this one. Let's read chapter 9 of Isaiah and then the chapter 11 and see there are two things over here it's written. Let's go to the chapter 9. Here you go. For unto us, chapter 9 verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Now, the increase is government, the peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with the justice from the henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of the hosts will perform this. Now, if you read and understand, the child is given and it says the mighty God. Mighty God, the one of the title on this one is given mighty God. Now read 11. Let's read the 11th chapter. And okay, on the 11th chapter is this. There shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse. Listen this one. Okay, on the other one it doesn't say Jesse. It just says the son is born. So chapter 11, this is what it says. There shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his root. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of the wisdom and the understanding, the Spirit of the counsel and the might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. Now listen, in the chapter 9 it doesn't say fear of the Lord. In chapter 11 doesn't say the mighty God. So remember what God had promised King David. He says that one day I will bring your own son from your own seed, blood and flesh from your loin. He will be my son and I will be your father. That's over here you can see. You can see over here, that's the promise in chapter 11. Now, chapter 9, he's talking about something different. Yes, there is a two different thing, but you need to understand why there is a two different thing. So, if you Christians, you understand those two scriptures, it's just like that in Isaiah chapter 52 and the 53. If we read, you will understand that God had a plan from the beginning to save the Gentile and to save the Jew, but the Jew is the one, his possessions. He will bring them from east and the west, each and everybody back to the Jerusalem, back to Israel. And Israel will be extended. There will be so many people will be inside. And then the rest of the country, the other countries, the neighbor countries will join with them. That's what is about all these things God is talking about, that, Christian people have the problem with 52 and 53. Isaiah, let's go that one and let me explain to you. Okay, so that way you will know that they're why arguing with each other. And I just don't understand these pastors and rabbis, scholar than me, they educated than me, and they cannot understand this simple language. The language is straight. If you read chapter 9 and chapter 11, is very straight. If you read the Daniel chapter, the main problem is you all have is you do not understand the Daniel chapter. On the Daniel chapter 7:13, Daniel 7:13. As my vision continued that night, I saw someone look like man coming with the cloud of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days. And I went again and again to make you understand all those rabbis and the pastors. And they're still not getting that the Son of Man came in the cloud from above to ground down over here. On Jesus, the spirit of dove was rest upon him. Remember, the Son of Man didn't came in the cloud. In Jesus, the Spirit was through the Spirit, he was born through the Virgin Mary. That's what in the New Testament we're talking about, that he was born of the Spirit, virgin, and the thing is that the Spirit, like a dove, was raised upon him. John the Baptist was witnessing that. In my case, the Son of Man came from the cloud and rest upon me. The Son of Man in the cloud, he'd go up there and meet the Ancient of Days. Now, on that theory, I told you also, if we go through two theories, that if you think that was the Jesus died and rose again and he's sitting up there as a Christian, listen to me very carefully. If you are a Christian and if you believe that the Son of Man in the cloud went up there rather than coming down. In the Old Testament, he came down. He came down in the cloud. He didn't say that everybody will see when he will come in the cloud. He said he will come in the cloud and he will rest upon the Ancient of Days. Now, if Christians believe that Jesus is the one who went up there and went to Ancient of Days, then let me tell you, Jesus said that I am the only one can come from up, and I'm the only one can go up and down. And also I can lay down my life, if you remember. So let me tell you, if he is the only one can come from above, he's the only one, then, and he went up there, then he has to be down over here right now, because the two prophets you expecting that died and rose again, only it has to be a Jesus. It has to be a Jesus who can die and rose again, because he's the only one can take his life back again. He has that right. And also he's the only one can go up there, so he's taking the other guy with him. So over there, you all are already wrong, because he has to be down already without seeing. That's not the rapture. It's not after the rapture he's coming in the cloud with the angel. That's not, rapture is not happening right now. And let me tell you that Jesus, when he comes, whatever is written in the Revelation chapter 11 and 12, that he will come in the cloud with all his angels. Those things are totally different than Son of Man who come in the cloud and rest upon him. He is the son of Jesse, which is chapter 11 of Isaiah we're talking about. The government will be rest upon him. That never happened with Jesus. It never happened with Jesus. On Jesus' time, this has never happened. It's been 2,500 years. Where is all those prophecies supposed to be fulfilled? It's not been fulfilled. And that's why I always tell you that Jewish people are right. Their Moshiach is here. I am their Moshiach. And if you understand chapter 52 and 53 and chapter 9 and 11, and also in Zechariah chapter 6, 7, 8, that he will be with them. He come, and then he will be with them. If you understand, it's very simple. The Spirit, the Son of Man who rests upon, he is your Moshiach, is finished. If you understand the scriptures, nobody will tell you. And if somebody copy what I said, they weren't able to explain to you very well, because they don't know exactly what happened. It's very simple what I'm telling you. Let's find the chapter 52, and let me read 52, 53, Isaiah over here. Okay, Isaiah. Here you go. Here you go. The 53. Let's read on chapter 52 first. Okay. It says, suffering and the glory of the servant. See, my servant will act wisely. He will be raised and lifted up and highly exalted, just as there were many who were appalled at him. His appearance was so disfigured beyond that of any man, and his form marred beyond human likeness. So will he sprinkle many nations. Now, these scriptures over here, this line, what he's talking about, so will he sprinkle many nations, which is in future. He didn't sprinkle many nations. It didn't happen. So this one is in the future. So will he sprinkle many nations, and kings will shut their mouth because of him. That never happened. That never happened. All the king never shut their mouth. In fact, you see what he had done to him. Okay, next. For what they were not told, they will see. They never told all these things. They're going to see. They're going to see this king and the president, the vice president. All the nations will see what's going to happen with this coming Moshiach. For what they were not told, they will see, and that they have not heard, they will understand. So, if you understand the scriptures very well, he is talking about two things. First, this person was there and whatever happened to him. But the next thing is he will be back, and he is the one from the chapter 11. The government will be rest upon him. All the nations will come and worship in Jerusalem. They all will see all these things. That's what the 52 chapter is talking about. Let's go to 53 now. And that also there are two persons he's talking about. Let's talk that one. So let's read. Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up before him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of the dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire of him. He's talking about spirit over here, because God is a spirit. But look what he says. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrow and familiar with the suffering, like one from whom men hide their faces. He was despised, and we esteem him nothing, not. Surely he took our infirmities and carried our sorrows. Yet we consider him stricken by God, smitten by him, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgression. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that would brought us peace was upon him. We all are like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. Now listen to me very carefully. This is for the another person, this is for the another person, but if you understand, then you will know it is the same person. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was laid like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearer is silent. So he did not open his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away. And who can speak of his descendants? For he was cut off from the land of the living. Let's see, that person was cut off from the land of the living. He wasn't married. He don't have no children, no nothing. There was no descendant of him. But look what does it say next. He was assigned a grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. Now is the important part is coming. And though the Lord makes his life guilt offering, he will see his offspring and prolong his days. Where this guy is coming? He's talking about that he's going to come back, he's going to have an offspring, he's going to have a prolonged days. Come on. The same thing if you look about him in the past, now he says that he's going to have an offspring. Before there is no descendant. Now God is going to bring him back. He will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand. God will be with him. God will give him a prosperity. God is going to give the inheritance that he has told King David. After the suffering of his soul, now let me tell you, see, this person is talking about that he will have an offspring. this person, he will be going through a suffering that you have no idea. The suffering that I've been going through since I born in this world, that you all have no idea I had suffered. So he says, after the suffering of his soul, he will see the light of his life and be satisfied. After my soul was suffering, I was begging God, my Father, please take me away from this situation. I had enough of this life. This is not right because I have done everything right to make everything right. And so what he did, look at this. This is what he did. After the suffering of his soul, he will see the light of the life and be satisfied. I see the Son of Man rest upon me. My old spirit left and the new spirit come upon me. Praise the Lord, build my house, build my house. That's what exactly started speaking through my heart. And remember, I don't know what is praise the Lord that time. I was worshipping all these idols. The next thing he told me to take away all the idols. I put that one, which is the second commandment, do not worship any idols. And I obey his commandment, which is Solomon didn't do it. And that's why God took away his kingdom. Now, the next line. He will see the light of the life and be satisfied. By his knowledge, my righteous servant will justify many, because he's going to be the right king. He will judge the people rightly. He would not see or hear everybody. He know already your in and out. And he will bear their iniquities. Now listen again. Again, you need to understand this part. He says, and he will bear their iniquities. Again, the same thing as the first person. He already bore. He already bear all these iniquities. That's what he's telling you in the above scriptures. Now he says, this person also going to go through the same thing. So remember I told you, when Son of Man came upon me and he took my spirit in his body and he left me his spirit in this body, and now he is the one up there. My spirit is interceding for the people. So it's the same person is taking the sins of everybody. I hope you understand what I'm telling you. Now go ahead and listen to the other one. And he will bear their iniquities. Therefore, I will give him a portion among the great. God will give him his inheritance among the other people. That's what he's talking about. And look, and he will divide the spoil with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death. Remember I told you, I gave up my life. I gave up my life to him. I told him to take my life. I didn't suicide. I never thought about suicide. I gave it to him. I said that this life I had enough. And so, let me tell you, and was numbered with the transgressor. Like I said, that right now my spirit is up there as a transgressor. For he bore the sin of many. So the same spirit is right now in other body, is took all the sin of many and numbered with the transgressor, and interceding and made intercession for the transgressor. I hope you understand. He is the same person, is coming back, and he is the Moshiach for Jewish people. That's who I am. If you don't understand what I explained to you today on chapter 52 and the 53, then something is wrong with you guys. I'm sorry. Okay? Especially those rabbis and pastors who are arguing all the time. Okay? That Jesus is coming. Jesus is not coming right now in the cloud to see the whole world. No. He already here. He is in here right now. It's the same spirit from the Shiloh to Son of Man to branch or anointed one or king or Daniel from the dead branch, you name it. I have told you all my titles. That's who I am. And like I said, it's not easy to digest. I'm still in the middle of everybody. Middle of Christian, middle of Muslim, middle of Hindus and Jewish and my own family. It says in the Bible, prophet is honored everywhere else other than his own hometown and his own family. It's not easy. Like I said, I wanted to see myself yesterday since God had promised me. But on the same time, God had promised me that I have to be patient because it will happen. It will tarry, but it will pass. He will give me my throne. I will be on my throne. I will receive my inheritance. Our God is not a liar. Our God cannot change his mind. Like other rabbis said, God can change the mind. No, God never changed the mind. God already knew exactly what you were going to do. It's only the way you think that the God changed because what you changed yourself. But he knew from the beginning that you are going to change anyway. That you promised that tomorrow you will be fasting. And he knows exactly you not because you're going to change. But then you make blame on him and say, I think so God changed my mind not to go fasting. But God knew it already that you're not going to fast. So God never changed. All those things, the 24 and a half year is going to end up in 2024. Also, I told you 5790 and 490, all the numbers exactly comes to 80 years. It's matched so perfectly on the 6,000 years that you have no idea. That 1952 to 80 years, as Psalm says, that 70 years been given, but if we stretch, it will be 80 years. And it seems like it's exactly 80 years of prophecy, where 2024 I will be ushering 6.5 years, which is the 2300 days, and then 1290 days, and blessed are those, wait till 1335 days, which is another 45 days from the 1290 days, which is 3.5 years. So, if this whole prophecy is 6.5 years, the first 3 years is you looking at to build the temple. Another 3.5 years is what he is talking about will happen. And then wait till the 45 days, and then we'll see what happens. The resurrection of the dead is not only for the Christian people, it's for everybody. It's going to happen in the Jewish nation also. Resurrection of the dead will happen. He says that whoever names are written in the book of the life, they all will be resurrected. As Daniel chapter 12:10 talking about. Many will be purified and made spotless. And God told Daniel, as for you, go your way until the end. At the end of the days, you will receive your inheritance. Which is exactly what, if you read the 7:9 and 7:13, the throne were put and the ancient one sit down on the chair. And he is the one going to open the book, and he is the one going to judge the people. He is the one going to be the king forever and ever. The same thing in 7:13. He will receive his inheritance forever and ever. 2 Samuel 7:13, forever and ever. Shiloh will come, 49:10 in Genesis. All those prophecy has to be fulfilled. And now it's fulfilling in a different way if you understand. If you understand Christian as a Christian, I just explained to you. You know, I have seen there are certain people that twisted the word to make them look good, but till they don't have revelation, they cannot tell you what I'm telling you. And look how fluently I'm telling you, because that's who I am. That's who I am. The world is going upside down, and very soon the days are coming. Days are coming that I told you, whole day wages, glass of barley. It's today's date. You go to all over the world in anybody's home. God have made their investment such a way. They can be Elon Musk or it can be a Google CEO, doesn't matter. The way God have made their investment such a way that you cannot pull out anything, or He made their brain, that they don't know what to do also. All confusions. Whole day wages, glass of barley. When He reigns on just and unjust. Yesterday my wife went to go get some rice, and there is a limit of 1 bag only. 1 bag only. It used to be you can buy anything you want in America. You go to the any grocery store and you can buy. Now you can buy only 1 bag. The grains are same thing. Since 70% of Russia and Ukraine is supply all over the world, and because of the war, the grain supply is shortage. So do the rice. India stopped exporting. So all those things is coming. And like I said, that God, just like what God says in Haggai, that ask for 100 and you will get 30 or 20, I don't know. And there is a big old hole in your pocket. Whatever you put in your pocket, it just disappears. I just heard in United States and all over the world probably, I'm not sure, even the people cannot able to afford their pets. They cannot afford it. They are giving away those pets to the pets hospital or whatever it is, government places, because they cannot afford to feed them. Those things are coming. It's front of your eyes. The war with Israel is coming. All those things, because if you remember, I said 24 and a half years, when he said that no more, I do not need other countries to tell me. Nathaniel said he don't need no other countries to tell him what to do all the time. It's time. It's time to stand up for your own country. And that's what exactly he is doing. The prophecy is going to be fulfilled in front of your eyes. It's coming. You know, right now, lately, you will see on the YouTube, most of them are gone, but there are few of them, the few rabbis, now they are telling you, Messiah is here, Moshiach is here, Moshiach is here, Moshiach will reveal any time. And they know who I am. They exactly knows who I am. But they are afraid. They are afraid to say something. They understand what I said. They're watching me. They're watching my each and every video, because my video have a better revelations, good revelations from God directly. I don't talk nonsense. I talk the word. Everything is in the word. Only you have to have the revelations of the word, and I am the revelation. Another title for me, I am the revelation. Because God have revealed me and God have inside of me. He is the one doing all these things. Only way I can hasten, I always tell you, is by faith. Faith comes by hearing, hearing by the word of God. And remember, when I was comparing two persons, Isaiah 9 and Isaiah 11, in Isaiah 9 he says he is a mighty God, and Isaiah 11 it says fear of the Lord will be upon him. Wait a minute. This guy don't have no fear of the Lord, other one has a fear of the Lord. It's simple, it's two different people, but one spirit. Two different people, one spirit. Do you understand? Two flesh, one spirit. That's who I am. I guess today's sermon, or the things that I told you, not too many people can explain to you, because it's not for them. It's not for everybody to understand. But whoever wants to understand, more understanding will be given to them. But the one who do not listen and try to have an ego, whatever they have will be taken away from them. They won't be the part of my deals. There are so many people, even though, the God nature is to forgive and forget. But I had given so many chances to all these rabbi to come and sit down. Let's talk. Let's start building the temple. My main aim is to build the temple. Nobody can touch the building without my presence over there. Nobody can build, not even put the stone over there in Jerusalem without my presence. It's never going to happen. If there is another plan that without me you are going to build, then you're going to understand then, and then the Revelation chapter will open the Antichrist. But if you want to build the temple, it's me, and I am the only one. It's me, 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 me. Let me tell you again and again. You cannot build the temple without me. Temple will be built. God glory will be upon that house. I will build his house. He told me, he has given me that opportunity. He has told me that to build his house, because he knows my heart that I will put my everything on that temple. Let's start building the temple. Let's get together this Rosh Hashanah. If it is not, then I know that I be there before the April, my Passover, because I born on the Passover. And everything happened in the June. So time is near. No matter what you do, time is near. The whole world is preparing for the war. Everything is written in Daniel chapter about to happen. Or it's been happening silently. And somewhere you can see the destruction of the world by the fire, by the water. You see the flood. You see the fire. All those things are happening in front of your eyes. You all don't see. You all don't want to know. But how many % of the people are watching my video? How many people understand what I say? Very. Maybe 1% of the 8.2 million people watch my video. 8.2 million people watch my video up to yet. Maybe I count 0.001% probably honestly watching me and believing me. Now, you have any questions, write me. Write me. And don't write me nonsense things. If you, after this video, those Christian people who's writing me, there are some of them are writing me about the 52 chapter and the 53 chapters. Today I explained to you that better so you can understand who I am. Simple. Thank you very much. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.